Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarita, and we're the Edgertons, and we are privileged to teach the college and young adults class here at River Hills Baptist Church. I grew up in church, but Jesus was never very real to me, and I met Mike, and he led me to Christ, and we have been walking together, trying to raise our children, disciple them, so that they are also following Christ. Read our Bibles frequently and pray.
I was blessed to grow up in a family of believers in Marlboro County, South Carolina. And when I was 9, I accepted Christ as my Savior. I didn't stay in the church through college. I did fall away, much like the prodigal son. And the Lord moved me to Florence for work. I met another Mike there in Florence, who's still a friend of this day. And he challenged my walk and got me back into church, and I rededicated my life to Christ while we were dating. Been tried to be dedicated to the Lord ever since.
When we moved here in 2020, a lot of things, we moved here right before the shutdown, and everything shut down, and we couldn't find a church. But I heard about a homeschool co-op that was meeting here at River Hills, and I knew I needed to get my kids involved in a homeschool co-op or something where they could meet other kids. And so we started coming to that on Mondays with the Stars homeschool group, and just fell in love with it. And then I got asked, I think in 2022, share my testimony on Right to Life Sunday and represent the Carolina Pregnancy Center, and heard Kent preach for the first time and was really touched. And then was asked again to come in 2023. Again, heard Kent preach, shared my testimony, was encouraged by the love of people and the love that they had for the unborn. So it kind of began to draw us to River Hills, even though we were members of another church. And so that's how we found it here.
We had been members at River Hills for maybe 8 months, and we were really praying for the Lord to put us in the right spot to serve. It just so happened that Kent came along and proposed that we take over the college and career class. This really seemed to be a good fit for us. We had served with youth in our previous churches. We've been in the class now for maybe 6 months. It's just been a privilege to serve with these young people, and we love it.
Galatians 6, 9, and 10. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially those who belong to the family of believers. It basically exhorts the church to continue in whatever work that God has given them, and using their gifts to serve others in the family of believers. And I think when we do what God has gifted us to do, which for me is teaching and encouraging, it encourages those that you teach and that you encourage to go out and make disciples of other people, because ultimately we want to reap the harvest of making fellow disciples.
Colossians 3, verses 12 through 14. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. As you may know, we're all imperfect. Just like family or work or other areas of life, there's imperfection in the church. And one of the things that we found at every church we've ever been at is that there's conflict. Conflict comes up. So these verses teach us to serve using the fruits of the Spirit. But when conflict does arise, it's so important for us to forbear one another, to forgive one another, and overall to serve the Lord.